Ones that was talking that trash are the same ones circling wagons. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. What? You got me feeling like I'm Josh. Okay. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh. Yeah. Got me feeling like I'm who? Josh. Yeah. Josh. Ones that was talking that trash are the same ones circling wagons. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. What? You got me feeling like I'm Josh. Okay. You got me feeling like I'm Josh Allen. Yeah. Josh. Yeah. Got me feeling like I'm who? Josh. Yeah. Josh. Ones that was talking that trash are the same ones circling wagons. You got me feeling like I'm Josh.
The Buffalo Bills lose to the Miami Dolphins today, 30-13, in super, utterly disappointing fashion. We're going to vent a lot about this one, talk about everything, and I guess let's get into it, I guess, man.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Pro Football Hall of Famer and former Buffalo Bill Andre Reed. You're listening to Nate and the Fellas on Circle the Wagons podcast. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills.
Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Hey, let's go Buffalo. Hey, let's go Buffalo.
The Bills make me wanna shout.
What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Circling the Wagons, a Buffalo fan base podcast. I'm your host, Nate. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get right into it, John. Talk about this 30-13 loss to the Miami Dolphins. This was the most disappointing game that I can remember in the last two seasons as far as a loss goes. I thought the Falcons was bad, but this is so much worse than the Falcons game. It was like they brought us so high with that Kansas City Chiefs game. Like we were standing on the mountain. We're like, this is a team. Like we're a team of destiny. Like this is the season, man. Like it feels good. And then the next week they lose to a 2-7 Dolphins team. And you're questioning your whole fandom. You're questioning your life choices in some ways, I'm sure. But John, man, how are you feeling? It looks like you're in mourning. I don't believe you, or I don't blame you. I believe you. Believe you're in, man. How depressed are you, or how are you doing in general, man?
So nobody's questioning their fandom because of a loss. I mean, we've either you're a fan or you're not. So let's get that out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, this was disappointing. I my note sheet little booklet thing, I only wrote 4 words today. Offense, I can't even read it. Brady, receivers, and Bean was all I wrote down. It is what it is.
So let me get to the first comment that just popped up on social media in this live stream. Brendan is saying the Bean McDermott era should be over. You mentioned offense, Brady, receivers. Where do you come out on who to blame for this loss? Because I mean, I could look. I just posted my thoughts on Twitter. I put Joe Brady at number one. I think that I haven't seen Josh Allen look this. I mean, last week it feels like I thought last week was the start of something. Like Josh Allen's passing game has stepped up. He's finally on the right page with his receivers. This is a way to move forward because the Chiefs have a much better defense than the Dolphins do. So I'm like, okay, this is team that the Bills can steamroll and really get things going against. Probably win by 2 scores. They were favored by 9.5 going into the game, and I came away from this game saying, yeah, the defense wasn't great, of course. Again, nobody expects. I don't think any person, Bills Mafia, expects this defense to be great, especially with all the injuries they've had. But dude, what's the offense's excuse? Why is Josh Allen not able to, put up 30 plus points against this Dolphins team that just traded off pieces? I mean, where do you put the blame in this one?
Combination for sure. Like the receivers can't get open. But at the same time, Brady's got a scheme for it, and these screen passes or whatever, or dump offs that are like 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and let's hope to get some yards after the catch. It's not working. So it's. I think those are the two main things.
That's his number one play. That's his favorite play, is that wide receiver bubble screen off to the side. And if we're lucky, if it's a great play, we get 5-7 yards tops, right? Like, I mean, at best, sometimes it's an 11-yard play and you're just like, wow, okay, maybe that actually.
And now, like, they can just keep, like, the Dolphins aren't known for the run defense, but they can just, let's just stop Cook and see if they can beat us through the air, because they have no receiving weapons. And then once Kincaid went down, then it was all over.
Oh yeah, it's all over. It's all over. So I want to talk about the Kincaid thing in a second, but I mean, I like to play this game lately where I've been thinking, I've been talking it out. It's like, let's do like our Occam's razor, right? Like, what's more likely? What's the most obvious reason why this is happening, right? Without looking exactly at the film, without looking all at the completely, just looking at the stats and everything like that, advanced stats. Like, let's think, what is more likely? What's the Bills defense is or Bills offense is struggling? What's more likely? That Josh Allen is that bad of a quarterback right now, that Joe Brady's play calling is completely predictable, or that the Bills wide receivers can't get any separation? I think Josh Allen is the least likely out of those 3 options. So it's like, well, what's more likely? That the same receivers, that basically the same receiving group that Josh Allen won an MVP with last season can't get any separation whatsoever, or that Joe Brady's play calling is completely predictable, and that the DBs know exactly where he's going, or maybe even a third, that Josh Allen is so not confident in this offense.
I thought about that today. Yeah.
Don't look confident. I'm gonna post a clip in a second, but like he looks razzled, man. I hate using this as the milestone, but he hasn't had this lack of confidence in the way that he carries himself since what? Ken Dorsey was the coordinator. Like, I can't think of a better milestone than that. Can you?
He looked tired. I don't know if it was because it was hot and whatever in Miami, but he just looked tired and spent. And he was their best offensive player still.
Yeah. This is him. This was him most of the game. I just happened to catch a screenshot of it while I was watching the game, and this isn't even that bad. And this was after he just fumbled the ball, but he looked like this way before he fumbled the ball, like before halftime, like right after halftime. He's just like, I don't know. He's like, dude, doesn't it kind of look like the look of a guy who's either like, what do they want me to do? What do they expect from me? Or like, I just
don't know. I don't know if it's that far. I think he's probably just frustrated at that point. I mean, Cook fumbled too.
Yeah, but those 2 fumbles are not the reason they lost this game. We could say that, but like, they lost by 3 scores. Like that game was not even close, right? Like, even if they scored a touchdown on each of those 2 plays, I don't think they win that game. Do you?
You get. I mean, a turnover battle is a huge part of the game. So I think that like, especially the Cook one is pretty deep. Like, they're about to score some points.
Yeah.
it all adds up in the end.
So who do you blame more then? You blame Brady or the wide receivers? I mean, the wide receivers can't be blamed, right? It's not their fault they can't get open. If that's truly the issue and they lack separation,
Yeah,
it's not like something you
it's not their fault they were drafted.
no, it's not their fault that they were signed and drafted. Someone gave them a blank check or whatever, you know.
We're getting to that point though, right? Where it's like,
Is it Curtis Samuel's fault he's making $8 million a year and he gets one target a freaking game? Is that his fault? Oh, I don't think so.
like 4 years ago, we had Cole Beasley, who else? John
Diggs.
Brown,
Oh, John
Diggs, right?
Mhm.
Those are we don't have that alpha anymore.
And we had Brian Dable as the offensive coordinator.
That's 2 offensive coordinators ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. The offense is messed up right now. They're the healthiest. Like the defense is riddled with injuries.
I know.
And they looked pretty decent. Like if the offense could score 30 points, they'd be fine. Right?
Yeah, if the offense could score 30 points and didn't cough up the ball.
I am not blaming the defense at all on this one.
The defense should absolutely be giving up at least 30 points a game with as many injuries they have. What's the offense's excuse? Before Kincaid went out, it wasn't like they were lighting the score on fire. Like they looked bad before he went out. He was the only saving grace.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Let McDermott call the offensive plays. Could it be worse?
How could it be?
It would be interesting.
It's so bad. And I can't, because at one point you want to give Brady a ton of credit for the Chiefs game, right? The Bills won that game. They look good offensively against a good defense. And then at the other hand, you're just like, what is going on with this offense? It seems this is the best way I can describe the Bills offense right now, especially the passing game. It feels like every completion is like a Hail Mary. Like it's so much work to get like an 8-yard throw. You know what I mean? Like it's just guys, it just has to be a perfect pass. The guys have to have like just the right catch. And it's like, and then the Dolphins take over the next drive. And their tight end is just streaking open, across the middle of the Bills defense. And you're like, oh, is that what it looks like to have a wide receiver that's not, that's wide open? The quarterback passes to in stride and he runs for another 10, 15 yards. Like, why is it so difficult? Why is there such a struggle?
It's like the Bills are trying to trade for Dolphins receiver Jalen Waddle or like just defensive tackle. And it's like, of course they're not going to trade with you. It's in the same division. Like you have to have a plan B or a backup plan or something. Like
that excuse. I didn't like that excuse because we did like a Monday or Tuesday podcast this past week about the Chiefs game and also talking about the trade deadline. And we thought for sure something was going to happen. We had some ideas out there, what we would have taken, just mentioning like, and then seeing Brandon Beane's press conference. Oh, well, we don't want to give up too much. There's some people playing fantasy football as their GMs. And to me, I'm like, listen, this is the season to do that. The Ravens are bad. The Bengals are bad. Like this is the season to go all in, like throw everything out the window. Okay. And look at say, like, I want to win a freaking Super Bowl this year. And if you want to do that, get Josh Allen a weapon, but I'm tired of like, people are like, oh, you don't want to play fantasy football GM. Look at the Eagles GM. How is he able to make all these moves? How are they able to re-sign all their good players? How are they able to give away draft picks for players? How do they have the salary cap room to do that? And we never do. We never do. You know why we never do? I've decided it's because we don't draft well, because we don't have enough rookies on rookie contracts that like we can offset all these other players that we're paying. So we have Josh Allen, who's elite, and then a bunch of other guys that are pretty good that we're paying. Not amazing, not elite, pretty good. And then it's just all veteran minimum contracts. And then some rookies are playing. But we don't have elite players like the Eagles do. And yet we're We're trying to. It's like you make like when I see that Rashid Shaheed went for a fourth or fifth, I'm like that was stupid. I'd give away a third if that meant that Josh Allen was going to get another weapon, even if it was a rental. I don't care. Give him something this season. Make the run now. Stop waiting. Stop wasting his years with okay, this is going to be a good enough team to get by, but we got to hope everything goes right. Like no, stop that. Stop that mindset. Go all in this season before he turns 30, before he's past his prime. No one would be upset if he went. And then the other thing is like the Bills have had so many injuries. Get bodies on the field. Like, don't think the injuries are done, as we saw today with the Dalton Kincaid injury. It's not done. It's not over. They're still coming. Like, stop wasting the season. A season that we don't normally get. Anyway. And what is up with the injuries, man? All these non-contact injuries the Bills keep getting. It's just like it's insanity. It was Dalton Kincaid this week. It was Michael Hoyt last week. The week or two before that was Daquan Jones popping a calf in pregame warmups. Like, what is going on over here? Like, at some point, like with most injuries, and I've talked to banged up Bills, Kyle over there. He's just like, it's just bad luck. And it's like, at some point, though, is it still bad luck, or are we having a streak because there's something going on there? I think it's, I don't know, so many things to be frustrated as a Bills fan. I almost just want to laugh about it. It's just like, what the hell is going on? Look at this one. Reliant Kyle 14 says Allen got neutered by Joe Brady. He's regressed ever since we lost Dable. I mean, he did win MVP last year.
Just call all the plays.
Just call what?
Should only call the plays.
Isn't that what Jim Kelly used to do?
That's exactly where I'm going. Yeah.
I'm completely fine with that.
And it doesn't have to be like a 2-minute offense all the time, like with Kelly, but why not Allen have more leeway with that? Do you ever see him audible too much?
No, I don't think I ever see him audible.
Yeah.
Maybe he switches direction for the run or something. I know he does, but it's not that common.
No.
When was the last time you saw motion? When's the last time you saw a counter or something that faked out the defense? When was the last time you saw a trick play that wasn't on a 3rd and 1? When was I mean, we could go over this all day long. There's so many issues with the offense specifically. And I know Josh does deserve some of the blame. He does, of course. But if I were to give it a percentage, it's probably like of 100, like 20%. I can't even blame McDermott. Like, people are saying, like, we saw that first tweet. It's like, fire McDermott. Okay. I don't think it's his fault that the Bills aren't passing well. What I think it is his fault is when he's not challenging like that catch that was on a 3rd down that gave the Dolphins a 1st down. He absolutely deserves blame for that. I don't know if I'd fire him for that, but he deserves a ton of blame for that stupid non-challenge. Whoever they're paying up in the booth deserves to get fired because they're giving McDermott the worst advice for that. So that's another thing. I don't say get rid of McDermott. I say, to me, it's Joe Brady, Brandon Beane, and then maybe Sean McDermott, and then Josh Allen. And I know Josh Allen put up 316 yards. I know he had a halfway decent game. He doesn't look good. And it sounds bad saying like that as a Bills fan because he's the best quarterback we've ever had. He didn't look good today. Not tonight. John Roberts says Cook ran for only 53 yards today. Dolphins have a terrible run defense. Or was it terrible pass defense? No, terrible run defense. They were good against the pass.
Yeah.
Good against the pass. So let's pass as much as we can. Man. Jet O says the Hard Knocks curse. Man, if only it were that easy to just blame it on a curse. I would love that. I'd love to be able to do that. Nick Piscitelli says we need to have a serious question about our training staff. What's funny is they just changed out their training staff, their strength and conditioning coach. They just got a new one. I mean, you got to take that with a grain of salt because it's a new staff. Does it mean it's better? I mean, so far the results are terrible. But I mean, how much do you blame the training staff for injuries? I mean, it's not their fault
Freak
that
injuries. Like Hoyt, like with the Achilles, like he just like steps up and then it pops. Like you can't train that away.
I know. I'm trying to think of what injuries you could potentially train away.
You're gonna get hurt. You're beating each other up on the field. Like people are gonna get hurt.
Could it be that the players are at fault? They're injury prone. Maybe that's it. And if that's the case, who do you blame for the players? It's not the players' fault. It's Brandon Beane's fault. Is he signing? I mean, we're knocking on
I
wood.
don't know if I blame injury prone either. And then you also, quote unquote injury prone players. They bring in like a guy like Jordan Porter, who was with us for so many years. He was injury prone before he came to us, supposedly. It was awesome. And there's other players like that too. So you can't just blanket statement that one way or the other.
Yarnellum says time to clean out GM McDermott. Allen is lost and Brady's not smart enough to scheme up plays to open up lanes. John, how many games has the passing game for the Buffalo Bills looked good? Out of the 9 that they played, they're 6-3. There's 9. I'd say 2. They look good. The Ravens and the Chiefs. That it? I'm not missing any. They didn't look good against the Dolphins the first time. They didn't look good against the Jets.
The best 2 teams that they played against, they played really well.
Oh, this bodes well for the playoffs. Then just get in.
All the other teams, not so much.
John, when do you get to a point? Because I feel like it's so funny. After last week, we're like praising. The week before, we're slamming Brandon Beane for all of his picks and everything like that. The Bills win against the Chiefs, and they're like, "Oh, this rookie class is pretty good." Max Hairston, Deion Walker. Like we start singing their praises, and then they lose again, and we're like, "Time to clean house." John, what stage do you get where you're thinking, "Oh man, the Bills need to think about firing McDermott and Brandon"?
You need to look at rookie classes at like it's halfway through the season, so I wouldn't put any second anything for this rookie class. Obviously, some players look good. Oh, Deion Walker looks amazing this year, and Harrison has only been back for a couple of games. He was hurt through most of training camp, so it's really hard to put stock on that. But you go back to last year, like Cole Bishop has been looking really good the last couple of games. So
Harrison's looked phenomenal too.
Yeah,
in his two or 3 games.
You need to give it like a solid 3 years to see if these guys develop or not. Especially like picks like 4th round and later.
Speaking of rookie class, Landon Jackson went out in the first quarter. His first significant playing time as a defensive rookie. That was unfortunate. Again, guys just going down. I know it happens, but it just feels like it happens to us a ton. It's just my frustration coming out, man. I don't know. Who would you even give? So I don't know if we do. You even want to do what?
I wouldn't. I already know
Wall of Fame,
and I wouldn't. I would not.
No Wall of Fame on this one. Okay.
No.
Here's a good discussion piece. This is by Sean Flahavan. Apologies, Sean. What's the justification of not having Cook on the field on 3rd downs? It's baffling. 1,000%. 1,000%, Sean. Agreed. And whose fault is it he's not on the field? Is it Josh Allen's fault? Or is it Joe Brady's fault? Dude, Brady.
Yeah.
Brady, there are so many questionable things that happen out there. Like, it's funny. I used to rag on Brian Dable for doing that stupid jet sweep play every time with Isaiah McKenzie, and like he would just do it for motion or whatever. Like do that, like 70% of the game or something like that. And I only thought it was stupid because it was the same thing over and over again, and they never gave him the ball. And it was and I get why they did it, but like I'm begging for motion now, man. What's it going to take for like a little bit of motion? And we finally get to see one, and freaking Shakir falls on the ground while he's in motion. There's so many things that I question about this offense.
Well, you never know. I can't remember which game it was, but Hawes fell at the ground, and well, he was in motion, and ended up catching touchdown pass.
Yep.
Sometimes it works out.
It's so funny. Like we said, the wide receiving core is mostly the same. All the running back room is exactly the same. The O line is exactly the same as last season. How often does that happen? You never get the same O line back, either because of injuries or because of guys end up re-signing or getting let go, or extending. It's just this is the same offense, and looks awful. It looks awful. We were joking around watching it at a friend's place, and they're like, "Oh, well, maybe it's because Josh got married." We are grasping at straws as to why the offense is, and to me, it's staring us in the face. I think it's Joe Brady. I I I, I don't think it's all him.
It's a combination. It's Brady and us not having an alpha receiver. Those are the two things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Jim Bienvenu says, "What the bleep is going on here? The Patriots are coming, so the Bills better wake up." Dude, the Patriots came. They are what, 1.5 games above the Bills now that the Bills just lost. They're 8-2, and the Bills are 6-3. So yeah, 2.5 games, man. They're here. They have a 74% chance. I was just looking at the odds from Kalshi. It was just like 75% chance that the Patriots are winning the division. Shit.
And even if we tie them, we lost to the Dolphins. So that's a divisional game. So that's a knock off that tiebreaker. So we're gonna have to do 3 away games in the playoffs to get there.
Man. That's a tough out. So you didn't answer my question. When do you get to the point where you look at firing
Now.
right now?
Wait, whoa. What were
Oh,
you gonna
wow.
say?
Ooh, firing McDermott
Wait,
and Bean. You say now.
Wait, what were we gonna say?
Jim says, "Sorry for the language, guys. I'm dead over here, though." Dude, I'm dead. I'm smiling. I have this weird thing, I think, sometimes where I smile when I'm upset. I don't know if it's not like I smile at funerals and stuff like that, or I laugh, but like, I'm just like,
I can understand that.
okay. You're like, I don't know what. It's either I laugh at it, or I throw something, or I cry. I don't know. I don't know.
Because you don't know, you're so distressed. You don't know how to react, and like whatever comes out
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Are you in that same
Yeah.
general area? Because I know
Mhm.
you're texting us and you're like, we're screwed. We're screwed. This is over. This season's over. And I couldn't be like, John, stop it. John, no, no, no. I was like, dude, I can't disagree with you. Anyway, going back to my question, when is it okay to fire McDermott and or Bean, or the vice versa? And because it's like, I can't remember. I think they just got extended this offseason too. So I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
I don't think it should happen anytime soon. I mean, like you look at their record or since they've both gotten here, it's been really great, right? Like all these winning seasons, all these division wins in the playoffs every year. I mean, you can't like
Who goes first? Let's say that if it's not this season, if it's not immediately, who goes first when the time comes? based on what we know now of the two, do you do a Dolphins thing where you fire the GM and keep the coach, or do you fire the coach and keep the GM? Who do you
It's
put more faith of this team in?
it's funny. Like when Bean McDermott took over originally, McDermott was hired first, and then Bean, because Whaley was still kind of there. Wasn't that a weird thing that happened?
Yeah. Yep. It was very
Like
weird.
I was surprised that worked out for us. Like and everything for maybe we just got lucky that we got Josh Allen, and and that's the whole reason why Bean and McDermott are still here. I I do think that the players that they've drafted, they've done well at developing, even if it takes some extra time. And I think they've had that luxury because they've been a contender to keep some of those players. So if I had to pick between the two, I'd keep Bean or McDermott. If I'm picking, I'm not saying I'm getting rid of McDermott whatsoever right now. But if I had to pick, I think that would be my choice.
I think I'd go the opposite. I think I'd keep McDermott. And the reason why is because I think he's taking some of these players and gotten the most out of them as a coaching staff. I mean, how often do these guys really leave Buffalo and you're like, they look so much better than they did here? I mean, McDermott can only do so much with what he's got, right? Like he can't turn, Joshua Palmer into a Stephon Diggs. Well, you
That's
can't
why
do
it's
that.
so hard. It's like a chicken and egg thing. Like the GM's got to, do a certain amount, and the coach has got to do whatever. And then, but there is that third thing. Like it's just like the government, right? There's checks and balances. There's the judiciary government, right? There's the executive branch.
Buddy, I would not be a politician if I were you right now.
Where's
You're
where's
going into
Mike? Mike's got to call in right now. He's got all this in his head, right? But
yeah, yeah.
the three branches of government, checks and balances and things. So the team's got that too. They got the GM, the head coach. There's the owner, and then they get the quarterback and the captains. The players got to execute, but at the same time, you got to. There's lots of things involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was going somewhere, and then
The Bills. Go ahead.
I'm done.
On the roster, guess who is Josh Allen's obviously the biggest cap hit this season. Who is the second biggest cap hit for the Buffalo Bills in 2025?
On the whole roster?
Yes. It may surprise you.
I haven't looked at it since the offseason, and I can't remember.
Who would you think it would be? Who's the second best player in the Buffalo Bills? You're just like that.
Cook.
That guy's what? No,
Cook is the second best player.
Cook is the second best player. He's not on the top 15 this season. Cap hit
Right.
wise.
I didn't think it would be him, but he's the second best player.
He's the second best player. Well, I'm going to tell you who it is, and it's not even if you were to list the 10 to 15 best players, I don't think he'd make 15, maybe bottom 15.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I might see where you're going with this. So I think Knox is pretty high cap hit, and who's the other one? Knox and somebody else on the Samuel is high too. Maybe not as high.
So here I'm going to share Spot Track. You see, Josh Allen has a $36 million cap hit. Dawson Knox is right below it at $14.5 million. $14.5 million. Is that fair to blame Sean McDermott for that awful contract? Like, and I get it. I like Knox. I think he's a good player, but who can argue to say that he's worth like, $500,000 a catch every season?
Did they? I think they did that before they drafted Kincaid. Because they weren't sure if they're going to be able to get a tight end in that draft. I think that was part of the reason. But still, you're right.
Yes.
I mean, you can't.
That's an overpay. Like, I apologize for the, but then you look at the next one, Matt Milano, 12.1 million. Okay. When he's good, Matt Milano's really good. If he is, I didn't even notice him today. Deion Dawkins, 12.1 million. Okay. Deion Dawkins is probably their third best player, fourth best player. He's top 5. Daquan Jones, 9.4 million.
He's
Okay.
been
Yeah.
hurt.
Dawkins is really good. Daquan Jones, 9.4 million. Maybe a couple of years ago worth 9.4 million. Not so much there. Connor McGovern, I think, is a steal at 9 million. And then you have one of the biggest thefts known to Buffalo Bills free agency, and that's Curtis Samuel at $9 million. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So you take that awful contract and Dawson Knox's awful contract. You have $23.5 million this year. You're taken up with not even underperforming players as far as statistics go. People would be like, oh, well, Dawson Knox is a good blocker. And it's like, are we paying good blockers $15 million? You're not even paying your center, who's an amazing blocker, $15 million. Like, what is this is I love this, by the way. Relly and Kyle 14 says number 17's best friend Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox got a contract for being Josh Allen's best friend, which is amazing. Dude, I do not blame Dawson Knox for that. That's awesome. I wish I could get $14.5 million, John, for being your best friend. Like, I would do that in a heartbeat. Not Dawson Knox's fault. Awful contract. He was never going to live up to that, and he hasn't. And then they drafted Dalton Kincaid, which I loved, which we all loved. We're like, didn't you just pay a tight end? You must not believe in him. You must not think he's the best tight end out there. You must not think he's a top 10 tight end like you're paying him like he is. So, yeah. I'm at that point right now where I'm looking for heads to roll in the near future. This was probably the most disappointing loss since what, John? You can't even say the Falcons because this was way worse, I think, this season. Do you go to 2 seasons ago when the Bills lost to the Denver Broncos on that last-minute play before they fired Dorsey? When was there a game where you felt this terrible about the Buffalo Bills after that? Can't think of it.
Seasons, I'd say.
John, you want to tell me what you want me to tell you which wide receiver you could get with Dawson Knox and Curtis Samuel's salary this season, and let me know if it's worth it or not. If you would take any of these guys.
I would take it.
I haven't even told you. Mike Evans.
Well, I love Mike Evans, but isn't he hurt? Like, or is he
okay?
still...
Oh yeah, he might be. Chris Godwin.
Oh, also on the Bucs. Okay.
Devontae Adams.
Old.
Cortland Sutton.
What else?
Calvin Ridley.
Ugh. What else?
Michael Pittman Jr.
Pittman.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins, yes.
He's the first one. Well, he's like right at that $24 million mark. So maybe there isn't a player that you could take with that then. If that's what we just are looking at, maybe it's not better. I mean, anything's better than what we're getting out of those two players, but maybe it's not significantly better. Maybe you don't get a great wide receiver. But then it's also like, why aren't you taking a swing on a wide receiver in every draft? Right? Like every draft, you should be drafting a minimum of one wide receiver. And I don't mean a day 7 throwaway like they did this year with Caden Prather. Like they're just like, well, he's a good gunner. Like so they drafted him to be a special teamer essentially. So they didn't draft a wide receiver.
Depends how the draft falls. Like you like on your, pick number 28, it's like, oh, I have like 6 receivers with the first round grade and they're all gone. Well, okay. Then you're going for other positions they had a first round grade, maybe.
What round was
So,
Puka Nacua drafted in? Was he a first rounder?
yeah, but how many teams did not draft him in the first round too? Like all of them.
Well, if you never try to draft one, you never get one.
Secure was a 5th round pick. That was pretty good.
I would absolutely take a 5th round wide receiver. I would take 6 is kind of like, yeah, you could still cut those guys. But like, don't bother. Don't throw a 7th round wide receiver and expect me to be happy about that. How often does that
But
work out?
but you also got to go with your
5th or better.
tiers
5th or
and
better.
your grades and your tiers. You got to like. So maybe the problem is in the if you're going that route, maybe the problem is within the scouting department, and you got to make some cuts there.
Maybe. Well, whose fault is it that the scouting department isn't doing their jobs?
It goes all the way up to Bean, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But he can make somebody a scapegoat and fire them, and
Oh man, that would be great. He's just like, oh, it's the scouts' fault. Oh, is it? Is it? Did you not look at the scouting reports and have any questions? This is a good point by Jet O. Penalties have been out of control this season. So that one, I was saying I would keep McDermott. That's squarely on McDermott. That's not Bean's fault that they're getting penalties all the time. That is on the coaching staff and the players. But if the players aren't executing, why aren't the players executing? You got to go back to coaching. So I saw something. Stevie Smith I'm sorry. Why am I saying Stevie Smith? Why am I going blank right now? Whose jersey am I wearing? Number 13, Stevie. Is it
Johnson.
Stevie Johnson? God, I'm thinking of him. Either I just had a stroke, or I'm thinking of Steve Smith. So Steve Johnson was protecting Josh. Who was it? Oh yeah, Keon Coleman against Steve Smith just a little while ago. So Stevie Johnson is like, this is the correction is simple. Josh has to get the ball out quicker. He has to go through his like short dump off passes, which he's not doing. And that's very possible. And if that's the case, if that's all it is, then that's on Josh Allen. Or is it on, I mean, by now he shouldn't need Joe Brady to hold his hand through progressions, right? I don't think he's ever needed that. That's not on Josh Allen. Josh Allen can go through progressions. Are you giving him terrible progressions? Well, if he's giving him terrible progressions, why isn't he discussing that with Joe Brady? Like, stop giving me these. They're not working. That's on Josh Allen.
Passes that are 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Well, I mean, that's what screen pass is, but they don't work. It's not working for them. Especially the wide receiver screens. So why are they doing it constantly? Because that's the only way they can get open.
Yeah.
So it's like a chicken and egg thing. Like you can't, like, what are you going to do? That's the only way they can get open. So they're going to call that. So either they can scheme something else up, which is on the offensive coordinator, or they can get better receivers, which is on Brandon Bean. So it's between Brady and Bean for me on this.
That's why I put Brady number 1 and then Bean right after that, because it's like, it's scheme wise. I think the scheme is either predictable or it's just not good. And then Bean isn't giving the players that maybe could help the scheme better. Like you said, wide receivers getting separation. I think it goes on those two guys. And then all the other things like bad non-challenge calls and penalties, that goes on McDermott. That's an ongoing issue. And then Josh Allen. So that's why I left it the way I did. But
no, and I think I agree with it. And like McDermott, I think he's got the locker room. Like, Bosa is super happy to be here. Like, you hear all these stories and everything. I think I keep saying McDermott is really driving home the culture, and everybody's on board with that. So I don't think
That's what's tough about this is
yeah.
people love to play for the Bills. They love it here. When was the last time the players have loved playing here? It's been so long.
Well, I mean, from a winning perspective, for sure. But even during the drought, there were players that love this community and being here and playing here and being part of that. So I don't think it's all, you know, because of that. But winning, obviously, that's the best thing, right? Everybody loves that. But I do think being a part of Buffalo and seeing what it's all about, I think for players once they get here is a big thing.
So here, let me give you a scenario. The Bills get a new head coach next season. They keep Bean hires his own head coach. He's never hired his own head coach ever, right? Because he was basically hired by McDermott. Bean gets his first swing at a head coach. Does that get better? I can't even give you a name because I don't want to.
Who's the head coach?
He gets his choice.
You have to give me a this or that.
I can't. Do you think he hires a better head coach?
So it's a McDermott versus a mystery man.
Yes. Whereas the opposite is McDermott stays, Bean gets fired, and McDermott gets his choice of GM.
That seems very unlikely.
I mean, you can't not give Bean credit for getting Josh Allen.
So wait. So first of all, this is like week 10. So like, what is the end of season result? What is the Bills' record, and where do they finish in the playoffs for you to say this? What's your hypothetical here? Your true hypothetical, because nothing's going to happen in season.
No.
What's the end of your? What's your prediction here?
So this would be the Bills not winning the division, making the playoffs, but like losing to the Patriots in the first round. I think someone gets fired.
Well, that would be really bad if they lost to the Patriots in the first round.
Well, why wouldn't they play the? I mean, it's very possible they do play the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Bills could be the 5th or 6th seed easily.
Okay, so that's your hypothetical.
It's my hypothetical.
And you're asking what happens as far as firings after that.
Yeah.
I think nothing.
You think nothing if they do that?
That would be my prediction.
So this is an interesting thing. Jetto says we don't win the division and we miss the playoffs. If we don't win the division and we miss the playoffs, does anyone get fired?
I still don't think anybody gets fired.
Because it's the first truly disappointing season.
I think that would be my guess.
Dude, the fan base has been clamoring for someone to get fired for like almost 2 seasons now. You think they'd be okay?
They haven't won a Super Bowl. Do you know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl?
Dude, the Eagles won a Super Bowl like what, 5 years ago? And then right before last year, before they won their second one, they were all calling for Nick Sirianni to be fired. They're like, fire this guy, fire this guy. And then
they won it.
Well, they won it, exactly. So like, fans, we ask for people, to get
It's like,
fired.
what have you done for me today? League, right?
Yeah. What have you done for me today?
It's
Today,
so
not even what have you done for me
fantasy-focused.
lately? What have you done for me today?
Yeah.
You think that if the Bills don't make the playoffs, they don't fire anyone? Like, I mean, Brady will be gone no matter
They're
what.
not gonna not make the playoffs. Come on.
I mean, they're probably gonna make the playoffs.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
A first round exit though would be pretty disappointing.
Right.
Yeah,
any exit would be disappointing. They have to make the Super Bowl this year. Even if it takes 3 away games to get there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they haven't been playing great on the road. Okay.
But they gotta make some changes. So what changes? So you're talking about hypotheticals end of season. What can they do today to make the team better. Trade deadline is passed. They're not going to fire anybody. So what can they do scheme-wise or player personnel-wise or anything else to improve their chances this year? That's the question.
Fire Joe Brady. Like, I don't know. I don't know who would replace him, to be honest. I know Brian Dable just got fired from the Giants. So, I mean, could the Bills technically fire Joe Brady and bring in Brian Dable already? I feel like I never see that happen. The only time where like head coaches get fired and they come to a new team is like under like a special like counsel or like a special coaching role. Like it's not an offensive coordinator role or quarterback coach role. It's like I don't know. It's like a specialty position. You know, like I think Robert Saleh did that with was it the 49ers after he got fired from the Jets? Something like that. The 49ers, the Falcons, or someone. He went there. So who do you get? You're going to get someone in season? It's not like I don't even know who the quarterback's coach is for the Buffalo Bills, to be 100% honest. I mean, Joe Brady was a name because he'd already been an offensive coordinator. But I don't know who the let's see who it is real quick. Ron Curry. Standout athlete at the University of North Carolina, where he excelled at both as a quarterback and a basketball player. Spent 8 years with the Saints. Passing game coordinator, quarterbacks coach. And now he's with the Buffalo Bills. Okay.
I'm kind of at odds with myself because I kind of want Allen to be more involved in the offensive scheme and calling plays and things like that. But I kind of, on the other side, he's already shouldering so much on the offense where I don't want to put that on him.
Dude, maybe that's why he looks the way he did when I showed that picture earlier. Like, because he's carrying everything, right? He's like, not only am I the one, shouldering all this load between, this, and that, like, he can't take on any more. Doesn't he look like a guy that's beat down at his job where they're just like, here's another project, here's another project, here's another project. And he's just like, dude.
It's also in Miami where the heat index was in the 90s today. Like, that plays a factor. It's hot. It's going to wear you down.
It is hot. It is hot.
But I don't know.
What do you think about this idea from Reliant Kyle 14? Bring McDaniel in as OC next season if he gets fired from Miami. You mean when he gets fired from Miami? He's definitely going to get fired, right?
That would be interesting because I do like McDaniel for as much as I hate Miami. I've always liked McDaniel. And I don't know. Maybe.
Look what McDaniel did with Tua and two good wide receivers and like a good running back. Like he was creative. It wasn't just like drop back, 6-7 step drop back, pass to the open wide receiver.
I mean, they had like sometimes I think he overthinks himself. I don't know. I mean, if Waddle and Hill and Achane and like they can't get anything going. I mean, today was Hill.
They didn't have an issue today without Hill. Yeah,
without Hill it was fine, but in general,
would you have given up a 20? That was the report that came out. Was that the Bills were willing to offer a 2027 first round pick for Jalen Waddle, but the Dolphins wanted next year's 2026 first round pick from the Buffalo Bills. Would you have done that?
Yeah, honestly, to me, a first round is a first round. I don't care what year it is. So if you're squabbling between what year it is, I think I would have done it.
Oh, I'd have done it in a heartbeat if you can afford it.
Yeah, it's not like you're squabbling between a second and a first. It's like a first between two different years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not even like a high first round pick that the Bills don't never have a top 10 pick. So it's not like you're getting, like the best tackle or whatever. Like it's a bottom of the first round
Now we do
round
it.
pick.
We do it for that.
100%. I don't know why they didn't. Again, we're talking about.
I don't know what his contract is or how many years is left on it. I didn't
Pretend that doesn't exist, John. Pretend that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that for sure. Yeah.
Well, they never said, the report was never that the Bills couldn't afford it financially. It was that they didn't want to part with the 2027 or 2026 first round pick.
But was it like just for this year, or is this the end of his rookie deal, or is it like how many more years? Like I don't know. He's
What
not.
do I
He's
look
young.
like? What do I look like? The guy. He agreed to a 3-year deal that keeps him through 2028. So he's a free agent in 2029. Are you freaking kidding me? I'd have done that in a heartbeat. What are the odds that you're going to get a first round pick, even if you pick a wide receiver, that he's going to be as good as Jalen Waddle? What are the odds? Jalen Waddle's what, a top 15, top 20 wide receiver easily?
Yeah.
What are the odds that you're going to pick a better?
When they
Shakir's not as good. They don't have a wide receiver.
When they traded for Diggs, which year was it in advance? Do you remember? I think it was probably just that year, right?
That he had left on his contract?
Like when they traded for Diggs, what pick did they give up?
Oh, the first round pick next year. The very next year.
Of that year, right?
Of that year, correct.
The very next year, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's the same sort of deal.
Worth the same? Yeah, probably.
The only thing that I ever struggle with is how do you make the contract work? Because it's a 3-year, $84 million contract. You're looking at like what, $28 million per year, something to that extent. 3-year, 84. Can't do that math in my head that quickly. It's 25, 26, 27 million.
Yeah, it might be good. It might be good for the rest of this year, but how do you make it work for in the future?
Cut some guys. Cut anyone but your offensive line. Anyone.
Isn't Connor McGovern a free agent next year?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You're losing your offensive line after this season. Connor McGovern and David Andrews are both both going to be free agents. And then in another year after that, you have to think of if you're going to re-sign Osiris Torrance, who's been looking really good. Another reason why you go all in this season.
I think I'm going to throw up.
My bad, dude. I wasn't trying to, but dude, why wouldn't you do Jalen Waddle? Why? If you could afford it financially, which is the biggest hurdle, and you find a freaking way, like, do it.
You know what I really wanted? I was really hoping for defensive tackle, to be honest, but the defense has been fine, even despite all the injuries. It's the offense is the problem.
Exactly. That's why it's so frustrating, man. The offense has
the offense is supposed to be their strength.
Well, it won Josh Allen an MVP. So apparently it wasn't a weakness. He's getting sacked more. He looks so much more. When was the last time you saw Josh have a really good run out of pressure? It feels like he gets tackled in the backfield so much more often. Just not sure why. Anyway, John, we've talked about this for almost an hour now. I think we're going to give folks a chance to should I read some hot takes actually from Twitter? Let's do that real quick. Hot take from Twitter. I'll give you a break for just a moment.
I don't even want to say it.
All right. After every game, I didn't even want to do like Sweet Sassy Molassy or Wall of Fame, Wall of Shame. It was basically just a Wall of Shame podcast, to be 100% honest. So I asked, after every game, I ask on Twitter X, what's your hot take in this one? I actually said, is this the worst Bills loss in the last 2 regular seasons? Who said that? Still Atlanta. They haven't showed to be as dominant as they looked that night. It had a lot riding on it. I don't know. This game, I think, is worse than the Atlanta game, in my opinion. Bill Lasso says, I'm tired of the Bills being so inconsistent, but also just an unlucky game. Turnovers go differently. This is a much different game. Yeah, I don't disagree with that whatsoever. Those two, the one where Cook had in the red zone, very unlikely that he does that. He just hasn't fumbled the ball a lot, which is a great thing. And then Josh Allen fumbles it. It turns into a, hey, he's running. Could he get a touchdown from this 4th and 1 to, oh, someone just punched it out. Now, of course, there's no Buffalo Bills players around to get it, but frustrating to say the least. Chad LeBrie says, go back to what was winning games. Defense was like Swiss cheese today. A-Chain looked like Derrick Henry did against us. Change the process or else we will miss a wild card spot. Ooh, that is hot take. I like it. Pat on the back says, unfortunately, Bills can't win the Super Bowl this year. Baltimore lost to the Raiders and Browns last year. This loss is the same as those. Got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. That's what also feels tough about this loss is most seasons they do win almost every game they're supposed to win. I feel like there's a rare time. I'd have to Google that. How many times Sean McDermott has lost to a team that had whatever winning percentage the Dolphins did heading into that 2-7. What is that like? It's less than 200%. So like I don't know, or maybe it's 220 something, 220 or something instead of, it's not even 500. So less than that. I'd be curious. Witty Hutton World Tour. Witty Hutton World Tour. Fire Joe Brady immediately. That is a good hot take. Roger Whiteside, a really bad one. Bad look for the coaching, the front office, the offense. More injuries and the Patriots winning too. This has to be a line in the sand, or else we may look back at today as the performance where the Bills' Josh Allen era ended. Wow. Dude. You talked about you think you're going to be sick, John. That one unsettled my stomach. Eric Harris says, we will learn from this and they will run it back next year with the same staff and the same deficiencies. And everyone will say, trust the process. Screw this process. It's been broken for a long time. Same crap, different year. I love how he started. He had us in the first half, John. He had me in the first half. He said, we will learn from this. And then they will run it back here and do the same exact thing over and over again.
We've been through that, right? Remember, like, oh, they're going to be 6-10 or 7-9 every year.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who the coach is. And they would change coaches or GMs every 3 years back then. Mm-hmm. That was the thing. Oh, yeah. So at least now they're contenders.
They're running it back every year.
Despite their, the faults, they're contenders. It's not like the years where there was no hope. Now at least there's hope.
Uh-huh. That's a good way of looking at it, John. That's like the only positive thing I think either of us have said all night.
People want to improve on GM or coach, but like, who's going to be the next GM or coach? Like, you have to give, like, if you're like, okay, fire who so and so, who are you going to bring in place of that? You have to at least say that. Mm-hmm. To at least analyze it and take it seriously. If you're just saying like, fire whoever because they lost this one game or these 3 games, mm-hmm. You have to at least say, okay, do this instead, not
just fire.
Right. There has to be an alternative. You have to have a solution. Like if you're at work, you're like, oh, this is not going to work to your boss. Well, they're gonna ask you why, or right, or they're just gonna do what they're gonna do. You have to like give a solution to it, or like a good idea at least.
You're like, no, right? It's not gonna work.
No, this is a terrible idea. Don't do this. They're like, well, we're gonna do it. So what would you propose? And you're like, I don't know. Like, it does not work like that in the real world. You have to at least have an idea or a solution to the problem. So
Yeah. AJ Tharp said our wide receivers ran routes like they were hungover from partying the night before. Our wide receiver room, as it stands, is on the books for over $118 million, and they can't get open. How the hell do we pay that much for these results? That's a Brandon Bean special right there. But going on, AJ Tharp says, and for the love of God, can we please turn injuries off? I love that. Richard W. Griswold kicking the crotch. Big Mike said, glad I slept through this one. It's cold enough when I get out of work at 6 a.m. Monday morning that I'd need to wear a hoodie. Left the Bills gear at home, SMH. Oh, man. Dude, shout out to all the third shifters out there. Michael Graham says, my hot take, a third string running back should not be taking an onside kick. Especially when you have a kicker who has been in the league for 19 seasons. McDermott is still making inexcusable mistakes 9 seasons in. He has to go. Oh, and our wide receivers suck.
they obviously practice the Ray Davis onside kick in practice. Like I think that that wouldn't be the first time they've ever done it.
God, I hope not. They what I'm hoping, John, is that they practice this between Ray Davis and Matt Prater so many times that they're just like, actually, Ray Davis is a lot better, because why else would you
Yeah.
have
And it wouldn't matter anyway because they would have had to do 2 onside kicks at that point. So I mean, really.
Yeah, exactly. You see the odds of people or teams making onsides kick this season was 3 out of 30 have
Yeah.
been recovered, and I'm like, that's less. That was at 10%. The Bills are going to be less than that, whatever it is.
Sure. Yeah. Unless
If
they
it's
see Christie or something.
yeah, if it's 3 out of 30 for the NFL, it's like 1 out of 30 for the Buffalo Bills. JBD 3105. I feel like this gets asked every season of the McDermott era. The cycle is repeating itself. Yeah. Jason Statham says Joe Brady is a fraud. That's all. No arguments there. Charlie B. Go Bills says, hot take. This team seems bent on breaking the fan spirits. At least during the drought years, the team sucked. We knew they sucked, but we could deal with that. When they won, they exceeded expectations. This version plays like their opponents, not like champions. Oh, man. Dude, it's preaching to the choir over here. All right, let's see. GM has worn out his welcome. Offensive play calling is far too inconsistent. Need to look more outside the organization for coordinator positions. Injuries are becoming a brand standard. Well, injuries, penalties, yeah. James Bennett says, time for a change at the top. McBean and company have let this team and its fans down. They've grown complacent, lost their edge, and it shows. It's time for leadership and a coaching staff with real heart, fire, and a hunger to win again. I'd argue the Bills have that. But not enough. Easy, and I've been commenting the same thing under a few different accounts and will continue to do so. But my answer is fire Joe Brady. I like how Jim says he's basically saying I got like 5 burners, and I just keep saying fire Joe Brady. Football says worst loss since the Jags in 2021. If they beat the Bucs next week, I really won't care. Adam Ace, what's that?
That's right. That's right. Jackson 2021. That was bad. Yeah, that was probably the last worst one after this. I agree with that.
What was that one? How come I'm not remembering that one?
It was like, was it the 9-3 game or something, or 9-6 or something? It was bad. We lost. Was it even at home too? I think. Can't remember.
I can't remember.
But it was. I remember there was a Jags loss that was really bad. I think that's the one.
Yeah. Here, I got a quick video to show you real quick. Adam Ace has 8-9, picking in the late teens in the draft. Bean will do nothing. Mediocre is the new normal. Stephanie says it's time for McDermott to go. He's not the right coach. Lots of people, and I don't disagree with any of them. John, can I show you this last clip to end this one as how it feels? I feel like this guy like hit it right on the head. I gotta share this one. Okay. It says fans of bad teams after a loss.
Ah, dang it. Man, we almost had him too. I'll tell you what, things aren't looking so bad.
Are you fucking kidding me? How do you lose that fucking game? This team fucking sucks. How are we gonna win a Super Bowl? Cause it ain't gonna be like that. Now with this asshole coaching, now with that fucking play calling. God, we fucking suck.
Dude, is that not how you feel as a Bills fan? I feel like that sums it up perfectly.
So I do have to admit, I kind of live the Bills play to play. So like, even doesn't matter if they win or lose. Like every single play, I'm like that, and it sucks to be like that. Really,
This team
I
sucks.
don't know why, but yeah.
Oh man, dude, it's tough. I think you know how the one I think it was Adam said that even if the Bills lose or win next week against the Bucs, he's still going to be disappointed. How are you going to feel after that? You still feel like you're in better spirits? They go 7-3 instead of 6-4. Like, will you feel better?
I'm going to that game, so I definitely hope that they win.
Bro, you had tickets? I didn't know. How come I didn't get invited? What, are we not cool anymore? Jeez. That's cool.
You can definitely come. Just get your own ticket
and sit 12 rows away from me. Oh man, I feel like I live week to week, man. I don't think I could even say if the Bills beat the Buccaneers next week. I don't know if I'll say I won't care. I don't know if I'm at that point yet. I feel like I'm week to week. Last week I was riding the biggest high, and now I'm, down in the lowest low. I just can't predict how I'm going to feel. I know I'm going to feel terrible if they lose.
I can predict how I'm going to feel. Let me tell you that.
Oh man. Well, thank you guys all for coming in. I don't know if you guys want this, but I'm going to share it. This is from Relly and Kyle 14, which has been, he's done so many today. So cool. Thanks for doing that. He says, want more pain. Mac Hollins went 6 for 106 today with Drake May. And, sometimes I think, John, that I'm always like, oh yeah, the Bills had the same wide receiver group as last year. Amari Cooper didn't do much, but Mac Hollins was a big loss, I think, when it comes down to it, especially if you're looking for Mac Hollins versus Joshua Palmer. I mean, it's night and day what one player has done for the Bills, even when healthy, versus the other. I don't think it's even close. So I think maybe that was, is it possible that Mac Hollins was the biggest loss that the Bills had on offense this offseason? How do you argue any differently? I didn't think it was that big of a loss. I thought he was a cool vibe guy, and he was a great blocker, and he led the Bills in touchdown catches. I thought he was a solid player, but I didn't think the Bills can't replace him. I didn't think that. At this point, I would have given him Joshua Palmer's contract in a heartbeat.
I think I hate everything.
This is good. This is from our guy, AJ Tharp. Ray Davis has a longer kick this year than a run. Yeah. Not having a great season. That's all right. Well, thank you guys all for being here.
You're welcome.
Gonna pick a winner for the Buffalo Bills. Oh, we got a Tito's jersey again. And then we also have this Buffalo Bills Water Buffalo Club 716. This cool hat that they gave us. I'd love to give it away to a listener, a viewer, a watcher. If you're wondering how you can get in on these random giveaways, just leave us a 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts, or if you do it on Spotify, just do it and shoot us a screenshot of it. Email us ctwpod@gmail.com, or DM us over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And yeah, leave some comments. And we just added a bunch of people like Relly and Kyle, Jetto, all these people. If you come in and you're leaving these really good comments, you're in. So the winner of this week's giveaway is, real quick, I'm going to share my screen so people don't think I'm pick one. We got Stu McAllister. Stu Gotts. Stu, you're in, man. You just won. Pick your choice. The Tito's Bills jersey, or I guess it's not a Bills jersey, it's just a Tito's jersey, and the Water Buffalo Club hat. Pick and choose, man. All yours. I'll send it to you in the next couple of weeks. So thank you guys all for listening. Thanks for being a part of this as much as you can, as much as it pains you to do that. You guys had some really good insight, and it helped us vent. Man, as Bills fans, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one, but there's always next week. That's what I just got to tell myself. John, any final thoughts before we sign off, or are you good? All right, John's dead inside. So signing off for John. 6-7. Oh man, this is signing off for me, Nate. There's always next week. Hopefully, we'll see if anyone gets fired. Go Bills, and we'll talk to you guys again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Circling the Wagons podcast. Download and subscribe to us in your favorite podcast service. Email us at ctwpod@gmail.com. That's Charlie Tango Whiskey Pod@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at CTWPod. And most importantly, go Bills!
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, Nate.
Well, listen, the whole show is called Circling the Wagons. Say no more. I love it.